Greetings fellow earthlings and welcome to the Siege of Gaudamur in Spain. I believe that's how you pronounce this castle. I don't really know how to pronounce most of those names. But this is part 5 now of my Stronghold 2 castle rundown. You can read the description there. And I'm going through all the defence strategies for these castles. Well, not all the defence strategies, but all the castles as a defender during the siege. Wow, that was difficult to say. Here we go. So we're just setting the right speed settings there. And here we go. This is a brilliant castle, one of my favourites. Good for beginners as well, I found this one to be. You have lots of different walls, I think 3 layers they have to break through, and usually they only get through 2. But by the looks of things it could be 4 layers. Yeah, 4 layers of walls and then the keep. So you've got to use the traps, especially those tar carpets there to your advantage, also the logs that are around, and all the archers on the wall must be used because they are very handy. Now here they come with those wagon things to burn the tar traps. That they do cause quite big problems because then you can't use them to your own advantage. They do come with catapults, which I advise to destroy as early on as you can, mainly using fire. See, I've destroyed 2 of them there. There's still 1 more catapult and they're training more in the siege camp. Yeah, there's another catapult run. So I do send some troops out at this point to try and fight my enemy off. The only difficulty that I've found with this one is it's hard to burn all the tar traps when the enemies are coming because there's so many of them. But in a way that works to your advantage because it means at least there is enough of them. I don't know what happens there, I think my archers just get killed. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, found just burning more of that tar. Now we're coming in with a battering ram now that destroys the main gate with help from the siege towers as well, and they break through the first wall. So you've just got to hold them out on that first wall for as long as you can. The first and the second walls are connected to each other. That does cause some problems, but it works well because they go down through that tower into the courtyard at one point. I was just watching the catapults destroy their own wall thing. Never mind, ignore me. Yeah, so we've gone down into the courtyard now, and that means they're very slow whilst walking round, and my archers have extra time to fire down into the enemy.
I'll serve thee well. God, sir.
And I'm sending some pikemen outside now to try and slow down my enemies, to give the archers more time to do whatever they need to do. So that's the first and the second wall breached. You just saw part of the gatehouse fall there due to that battering ram. And I knocked these logs down. Hopefully they destroy battering ram, I can't remember. They do a lot of damage to it, but they don't destroy it. Which is a shame because that does need to be destroyed if I want to survive. I then send some pikemen out of the castle to destroy that catapult and destroy the other siege camp. So that then they cannot train any more ladders, catapults, or destroy any more of my castle, which does help because basically then they all just wait outside and I just fire at them and then I win.
Yes, sire.
So we're coming round with the knights now. I just need to hold them back up for as long as I can get as many arrows fired into them as possible.
Right, Lordship. I'll serve thee well. Let's get going.
Yes, I'm going for that catapult now. And then I do go for the siege camp.
Captain.
I think they're crossbow men that are slightly delayed there. I released those logs, I don't know why, I just released them for fun. It's just fun to see all the logs roll down and catch fire. Yep, so I've killed my pikemen that were waiting outside. Now I have one more who, actually 2 or 3 more, who avoided the battle there.
Our strings are waxed.
Let's sending them back in. So I now have about 12 archers, I think it says, all on the side of the wall, which will no longer see any more action. So what I decide to do is I bring all those archers round to try and get them onto the wall to keep on firing again.
Aye, sir.
That's their siege camp almost halfway through being destroyed.
Marching boots, lads. Lordship. Deploy.
And I get all my archers onto the keep. I don't think I'll need them there, but it's always good to bring them up there just in case. I then rotate around to just try and find out where the knights are. Yep, so they're almost at the gates now, but I'll be closing it once my archers are in there. Yep, like that. Ah, I still want some more archers.
Woman, string up.
It's just too late for them anyway.
I'll serve thee well. Your command, sir.
So I destroyed the siege camp as you saw there, trying to bring in all my pikemen by opening and closing gates. The knights get onto the walls. So that's the 3rd wall breached now. The 4th wall, however, will hopefully hold.
Forward! Pikemen, advance! Captain.
Just walking around. I was wanting to use those 2 log traps there, however they went onto the walls, so that didn't work well. I sent those 2 logs down just to watch them fall. And then they only have 3 knights left, and I just fire my arrows at them. Send some troops up there as well, just in case if something goes wrong. And then that's it. Yep, I've won. So that's the Castle Gaudamur, or Gaudamur, however you pronounce it. Brilliant castle, good for beginners. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and goodbye.